I'm Amy Beth Shaver, along with Allison Sinclair and JP. And y'all are the reason why we're involved at all. Y'all are the reason why Laura Ingraham is in awe of a red state like Alabama, because on election day, y'all will wrap a building round waiting in line to cast your vote to somebody you know is already going to win. Y'all are the reason we're here, because you are engaged in your community and you are making a difference. So why don't we make a difference together? You are here in the right place at the right time, and we are the right side. I'm joined by a dear friend and battle buddy.
It's a good word.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah. And you're so good at that, Miss America.
Allison Sinclair was
It's
not
like you're back on that stage.
not
Wait, no, seriously, I forget. What year were you Miss Alabama?
a long time ago, 1994.
So that's kind of how you got started in this.
It is how I got started in this. I was Miss Alabama, and I had the opportunity when Heather Whitestone, who was our first deaf Miss Alabama, became Miss America. In that instant, I became Miss Alabama, and hence the media thing, the speaking thing got started.
How did you get involved in politics, though?
I got involved in politics through Miss Alabama because I am adopted, and part of my platform, that issue that we speak out about, involved adoption, abstinence and character education. And I started getting involved and asked to speak at events and pro-life events. And that kind of started there. I worked at the Alabama Policy Institute as an intern right after college, actually right before I became Miss Alabama. And then things just kind of snowballed from there, and I stayed involved from then on. So it was a natural fit. But not only were the men in my family involved in politics and cared deeply about it, but my grandmother, my mother, my aunts all cared, and I learned to care from them. How about you?
Well, hold on a second, because what year did you run for the Alabama House?
In 2014, I ran for the Alabama House.
Holy cow.
District 43. I know we're so old. House District 43 made the runoff, but we are now, and it was against Arnold Mooney, who is a good friend. And hey, without him, we would probably not be in this building.
Arnold, shout out.
We'll tell you about that. But yeah, and so that's how I got involved. And that's when we met the first time, really, was at Mom's Night Out.
Wait, what did you do? We went to a movie theater.
Yeah.
And what did we watch? I can't remember. This was during Amy Beth's campaign, and I remember showing up. I can't remember what we did.
So it was under the idea of one of our other friends, Allison, who said, you need to do an event for moms. And it was that movie by the Irwin brothers, another Alabama-based group. And at the time, and they said, let's host Mom's Night Out, and y'all showed up. And one of the things you learn about when you're running for office is who your friends are, but you also learn who cares about their community. And all of y'all showed up because y'all care, and y'all are amazing humans. And that blew me away. But that was really the first time we met. And do you remember what you said when you got a sign from my other friend, Allison?
Well, I didn't remember, but you reminded me the other day because it's kind of funny.
You asked if we were for Auburn or Alabama.
That is the right first question.
And so we said, well,
yeah. How do you
we're
know
Alabama
how to answer?
fans, but I, now I've got a daughter at Auburn, and you said, well, I'm an Auburn fan, but I'll take your sign anyway.
I'm such a faker, though, because I graduated from Tennessee. So, who am I to even ask or judge? But we did. We put a sign in our yard. But you forget that I think I paid way more attention to you than you did to me when we had kids at preschool together at Briarwood.
All I know is that there's a beautiful mom with the cutest little kids running down the hall. That's what I know.
No. Amy Beth and I had kids at preschool together at Briarwood. And every morning I'd be dragging my child with a Pop-Tart in his hand, trying just to make it down the hall, looking homeless. This girl would show up at 7:30, perfectly dressed with her cute little hat. And I remember always walking by going, someday I want to be her. But anyway, then we joined forces years later. We were in a Kohl's parking lot. And I had just started Local Alabama, grassroots organization here in Alabama. It really started, I was involved in politics growing up in Tennessee. Actually, the very first campaign I worked on was for who's congressman now, Tim Burchett, which is hysterical. He was running, he was in the House for Tennessee, but he was running for a Senate seat. And I remember once he won the Senate seat, because I was helping on that campaign.
Obviously, duh. You want Allison involved on your whatever you're doing. You need this lady right here.
I was instrumental, let me tell you. But I remember that year he passed the roadkill bill in Tennessee.
Yeah,
where like if you hit a deer, you can pull over and take it and eat it. And we
Wait,
were
actually,
no, really,
oh,
really,
yes.
that's pretty cool.
And listen, it made the Today Show, and I remember going, Tim Burchett has arrived. He will never be higher than this moment. Look at him now. He's like aliens, Epstein, Doge. He's like running the whole world, it seems like. But that's how I got started working on his campaign, and then took a semester off of engineering school and went and worked at the Tennessee legislature and really kind of got into politics there. And I feel like it's one of those things that if it's in you, you're kind of stuck with it.
That's right.
So then married my husband, we moved back here. He's from Birmingham, and then kind of just raised kids for years. But then COVID hit, and I was like, this isn't going to work. So I started Local, and it grew and kind of blew up overnight. But you and I ran into each other in a Kohl's parking lot, and you said, I pass by your house all the time, and I just keep praying. I'm like, you said, I think I keep going, we need to do a podcast together. And I mean, I remember looking at you going, like you had two heads.
You did. You really did. And now that I know you, I'm very impressed because we both have learned to have poker faces, but at the time you could see the like, what? And I explained that I'd started writing for another news outlet. And
oh gosh, I forgot that.
But at the same time, I was writing op-eds. But I had shared with them that I really wanted to do a podcast, and I truly had passed your house for years. But for 1 year in particular, right as I was starting writing op-eds, I shared with this organization, I really believe we need to do a podcast, and I know who I'm supposed to do it with. And then God put us together after the Concerned Doctors event that we held during COVID. At where we found out later, probably some feds were there. That was fun.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you that later. That's another story for another day.
Can you tell it on air?
Well, perhaps. But after the event was over, and there was 1,000 people there at that COVID event, and we were all freaking out because, like, please tell us the truth. But we know we're getting steamrolled by this whole COVID thing. But you were there, and then after that, we ran into each other in the parking lot. And we saw each other at Kohl's, and I shared it with you, and you were like, huh. And then I checked out, and then you checked out, and then we ended up walking out together. And
well, I always tell my kids, like JP at your all's age, like you don't ever say no until you know you have to say no. So if somebody presents you with an opportunity, I'm going to probably tell you to say yes until it's like a clear. And so I remember getting in my car going, that's bizarre. Like I'd never been in media, never done anything, but I was like, sure. And so we put together this crazy idea, and I don't know how, fake it till you make it, but we made it happen. And we had a podcast and a radio show for years. That gets us to JP and Rightside, now the Rightside, which is kind of crazy. And wow. So what, in August? Maybe I'm in Colorado. It's a funny story, actually. I was out on a trail by myself in Colorado hiking. I say hiking. It was more of a walk, a slow jog, something. And it just started raining. I come up on some steaming bear poop.
I was about to say on bear droppings.
You remember this?
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Yeah. And right as I'm like, okay, I need to turn around, my phone rings and it's Phil Williams. And I'm like, you got to answer when Phil calls.
Yeah.
But then I was like, do I die by the bear? Do I take the call? So I run back, call Phil, and he tells me this crazy thing that Donald Trump has nominated him to be the U.S. attorney for the Northern District. And he needs somebody to take over Rightside. And again, it's one of those other moments where he's like, I feel like it's you and Amy Beth. Well, what did I tell Amy Beth? You don't say no out of nowhere. So I was like, yeah, we'd love to talk to you about it. We go up and do a show with JP. JP, what did you think when we walk in?
Well, my first reaction was these ladies are definitely fun. And
okay, that's goal number one.
High energy. So I think it was when y'all did the first show, there was already talk about y'all. Mm-hmm. So I kind of in my head thought these were potential. I was like, I like them. They're fun. I probably need one more to really get a feel. And then I think it was really after the second show we did together, I was like, okay, I think we got some good chemistry. I think we can do something here. So
you didn't go to Phil and like, dude,
no,
don't invite the ladies.
And actually, we need to give props to the sweet Charlene, Phil's wife, because
that's true.
It was her that Phil had talked to a potential, some folks like gauging, and I think y'all ran into each other at the
it was an Eagle Forum event with Carol Swain.
I was her date.
Yeah. And it was the next morning when Charlene told Phil, like, that those are who you need to reach out to. Mm-hmm. So Charlene was kind of the puppet master of this whole thing.
Thank you, Charlene.
Yeah.
She did a good job. And so then on November 3rd, we hosted our first Rightside radio show. And now here we are, our very first day as partners with Yellowhammer News. Could not be more excited. I do laugh though. Do y'all remember years ago, Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart hosted Saturday Night Live together?
Let's do some.
And like one of the commercials they filmed, it was Snoop Dogg next to Martha Stewart, and they don't really look the part, but behind him as they're standing there, they go Snoop Dogg, Martha Stewart, together again. And I feel like that's Yellowhammer and the Rightside. And it's like, this is weird, but I kind of dig it, And so I think this is the perfect partnership. We're really excited. I don't know where you're watching or listening, but Yellowhammer will have us across all their platforms. You can find us on Rightside Media, but we're really excited to be kicking this off.
Very excited. And our plans really are, as I said in the beginning, we love stories. We have lots of them because we are each married mothers of 4 children. Our kids are adults now. I have 2 grandchildren. So life happens, but in the middle of life happening like it does for y'all, we still have to care about our community and stay engaged. And the reason why, and I found this quote, I thought it was a great kickoff, because this is why we're here. Intellectuals are naturally attracted by the idea of a planned society in the belief that they will be in charge. And that's what we're absolutely against. We are in charge. And this is our country, and this is our community, and these are our families, and these are our schools. And we have to fight back against the idea that our betters should be in charge of us. Absolutely not. That is not the way America was set up. It was set up with civil magistrates that were elected by us. And that's why it's remarkable that we're here today to talk about the news, to deep dive on subjects, to bring you Alabama news, because we love Alabama. And that's also why we're so excited to be partnered with Yellowhammer. And so each day, what we will do is have a montage that JP puts together of the news from the afternoon and the evening, and perhaps even in the morning, so that we know what we're going to talk about. That'll shape the beginning of our conversations. And then from there, we have super fun segments, one of which y'all cannot miss. It's on Wednesdays, and it'll be in the second hour. That's when we'll do our blocks of interviews. That's when we'll do segments like Hot Flash News. Okay. We'll do the plunge.
That's funny, by the way.
I don't care who you are.
We'll do the plunge, which is a deeper dive on whatever topic it is that we've picked out. We will talk about JP on sports, happens on Fridays. On Mondays, we unravel the mayhem. Today's mayhem has to do with Alabama news and other situations like that. So that's going to be the second hour. But the first hour, we're laying out what's going on in the world, JP's montage, and we'll unravel it a little bit. And then the second hour of each day will be interviews, breaking news, and then our super fun segments. And then, as always, every single day, we end with the exit question of the day, which is generally JP asking us, would you rather or never have I ever? And all of it requires you. And our text number is a number JP is going to give out because I can never remember it. It's fine. But we are going to be checking in with y'all at the end of each hour to get your thoughts and your reactions based on what we've talked about and what we've covered. Does that sound like something y'all could get behind? We hope it is.
Before we forget, JP, can you say the number very slowly?
Like super slowly.
833-687-4448 is the text line number if y'all want to let us know your thoughts, or you can just comment on whichever stream you're watching on Yellowhammer's Facebook or Twitter, or Rightside's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Rumble, whatever. So you can text the show at that number, or you can just comment on whichever stream you're watching. You can do it that way as well.
Okay.
By the way, I feel like we missed the opportunity, but this day is due for some air horns.
Thank you. That's going to be a staple.
It's a big day.
Yep. And that was a lot of button pushing. Sometimes you just do it like 3 times.
That was like 12.
That was a lot.
That was like JP's fired up.
Yeah.
Now, how are you feeling about this, JP? You've had quite the doozy few months. I mean, you started and moved to Birmingham.
Yep.
Because you just had to be with us.
Mm-hmm.
You knew after that second show, you're like, this is going to be a banger.
Yep.
And then now we're moving and we're going all digital. How are you feeling about it?
I'm very excited. I mean, I'd be lying if there wasn't some whiplash, but it's good whiplash.
Yeah.
And, I feel like God's doing things with Rightside, and I think he's opening the amount of doors that he has opened in such a short period of time has been pretty crazy. So I'm very stoked. I'm very stoked to be doing this with y'all. I think we're going to kick some booty along with Yellowhammer. But yeah, I'm stoked.
You trust us?
I do.
We got you.
Well, now I do. Now it's just, I was questioning if y'all had me, but now I got you. Yeah.
There's just no way. Like God I couldn't have even dreamt this script up. So it's just, there's a lot of comfort in that where you're like, okay, God, clearly this is where we're going.
Well, yeah.
So
if you see from the beginning, just the weaving of, it's just a God thing. So
it is.
Do we have time to get to the montage before we have to take a break?
So we got about 6 minutes for we got to go to break. So we can do the montage, kind of preview the stories. And then on the other side, we can really break into them.
All right. JP, today's miraculous miracle monster montage.
Like news. As the president warned, an effort of this scope will include casualties. War is hell, and always will be.
Concerns about Iranian sleeper cells and kind of what has the Trump administration been doing to kind of monitor these threats?
Across the interagency, in full coordination. Of course, we're paying attention to any potentialities there. We're ready for that. We've seen these types of folks before, and the American people can rest assured that we're vigilant on that. The question about 4 weeks is the typical NBC sort of gotcha type question. President Trump has all the latitude in the world to talk about how long it may or may not take. 4 weeks, 2 weeks, 6 weeks. It could move up. It could move back. We're going to execute at his command the objectives we've set out to achieve. And what he has shown an ability to do that other presidents can't quite seem to have the aperture to do. Well, I mean, Joe Biden didn't even know what he was doing.
A massive police presence has shut down part of the Beltway near Little River Turnpike after reports of a crash and stabbing.
In the last several minutes, Virginia State Police now confirmed that 4 people were stabbed here on the Beltway, that a 39-year-old woman was stabbed to death, as was a dog. And they say that a Virginia State trooper got to this scene and fired at that stabbing suspect in self-defense. They say that suspect is dead tonight as well.
Obviously, it's still way too early in the process to determine an exact motivation, but there were indicators that on the subject and in his vehicle that indicate potential nexus to terrorism.
So many questions with that. What are you thinking?
I think there's so much going on in Iran right now, and I know we have to take a break in a few minutes. I think we would be wise to start covering that. I saw this morning 3 planes were shot down. Just lots going on. I have lots of questions. I think too, and we don't have time to get into it, but let's step through the history of kind of the relationship between Iran and the US, because going back, I mean, we were young in the 70s when all that started happening. JP was just a glimmer and maybe someone's eyeball.
20 years before I was born.
Yeah.
All right, rub it in.
Sorry.
It's fine.
So I think it would be really good to go through that, and then also step through the timeline from where we started. Was it in June, the first strikes, where we said we got rid of all, well, severely deterred their nuclear capacities, but now here we are again. So I say we start with that after the break. The DC shooting is just, I mean, road rage thing. That's bizarre. And has anybody seen, how do you stab 4 people? Did everybody get out of their cars?
And a dog. Okay.
And a dog.
I'm sorry. You got to be an extra level of messed up to stab people and then stab the dog. What is wrong?
Yeah, I don't, it does, I mean, you turn that on and you think, is this real?
Well, think about it practically, and maybe y'all have more information than I do, but are you going car to car, and are people just like rolling down your window as you're running through with a knife, or was everybody in the same car? Do you think, like, logistically, that's a mess?
Yeah.
We may actually need to turn our TVs on today to watch for updates for that. Because that's a messy story. What's messy are the sleeper cells that these things may or may not be, it's all so messed up right now. And it's unhinged, and it brings about some good conversations, not only a timeline with Iran, but also why this person did what they did. And then it leads naturally, I think, to a conversation about immigration, because who's doing these things? Like, this is really odd.
Yeah, the one in DC, I'm not sure who that was.
Which makes you go, huh? I'm pretty sure an Amish person didn't do that.
Then we have lots of good Alabama news too that we'll get to. House Bill 78, electronics bill for kids is headed to the governor's desk. Lots happening there. JP, we need to go out.
Yep.
Are we ready for a break?
Yeah, 30 seconds till the hard out, but the music's playing.
Okay. Well, stick around. We have so much more to cover, and we'll be back right after this break.
With Allison Sinclair, and we are joined by Admiral Brian Christine, who is the Assistant Secretary for Health at HHS, and it is a thrill and it is an honor, sir, to have you here. Thank you.
Oh, it's a privilege to be here. It is so fun to have come back home to Sweet Home, Alabama, to come see my family and to do this, to work with y'all, to do this podcast, to help get the messaging out that we need to, so the American people know the good things that we're doing in Washington, the good things that Secretary Kennedy and President Trump are doing. And so as we start off, I have to give a shout out, obviously, to our president and to Secretary Kennedy, because they are working so hard to make this country healthier than she's ever been, to make Americans stronger than we've ever been, to make America great again. So thanks for the opportunity.
So before we jump into those values issues and talking about making our country healthy again, which is such a relief, could you tell those who may not know you or have heard about you, because you are a legend, a little bit about your background?
Sure.
As we jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born, my father was in the Army. I was born in what used to be West Germany. Now, if you're old enough like me, you remember that one time there was an East and a West Germany during the Cold War. My father was a tanker. In other words, he was in armor in the Army, tanks. And we had a lot of armor assets deployed along the east-west border during that time. I was born in 63, really the height of the Cold War. So I was born in West Germany. My father ultimately went Special Forces. In his second tour of Vietnam, he was really severely injured, lost an arm and a leg, got out of the military. We ultimately settled in Augusta, Georgia, had some family there. I went to medical school at Emory in Atlanta, and then I came over to UAB for my residency. And that's how I got to Birmingham. I did my residency in urologic surgery, completed my residency, and then I joined a urology group here in Birmingham. And I practiced with that group for 24, 25 years, really subspecializing in men's health. That was kind of my gig. Then I got the call for the nomination to be the Assistant Secretary for Health from President Trump. Went through the confirmation process. Ultimately, was confirmed by the Senate. I was confirmed into this position last November, and here you are. So now I'm in Washington as the Assistant Secretary for Health.
Were you expecting that call? I mean, how does this happen?
Yeah,
you're just like
no, that's a great
Brian
question.
Christine in Birmingham, Alabama, and you get a call that you're the next Rachel Levine. What's her boy name?
Richard.
Richard Levine. Richard Levine.
You're
That's
Richard.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Yes, I am President Trump upgrade from Richard Levine.
We would say
there
so.
you
We're
go.
very grateful
Yes,
for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I really think, listen, I think one of the reasons that President Trump nominated me and that Secretary Kennedy wanted me in the position is because I practiced medicine on the front lines. I was kind of a Main Street doctor. And I think they liked the idea of having someone who really understood medical care and delivery from a Main Street level. I think personally, I think also one of the reasons that President Trump wanted me in this position, because there's really not another visual that shows the difference between the horrible Biden administration and the really righteous and good Trump administration, and the fact that you have me in the same position as Levine. I'm a man who wears men's clothing, and that really says all you need to know about the last administration and this administration. For sure.
I always thought he could have done a better job, like zhuzhing it up a little bit. Like it was like he put on some earrings and a dress, and that was it. Like, but we can work a little harder. But I think America, the juxtaposition is overwhelming from what y'all are doing versus what he was doing.
Well, no, exactly. When you look at Levine, I mean, again, his agenda was no question about it. The transgender and minors agenda was so important for him. All he wanted to do was to tell little boys they could be little girls, little girls they could be little boys, and then recommend castrating surgeries, castrating chemicals, hormones, and do irreversible harm to these kids. So if you go back and look at what he talked about, mostly that was it. I mean, Levine advocated for removing any kind of age restriction on transgender treatment in kids. He advocated for those sex-rejecting surgeries. That's what we call them. People say transgender surgery. No, in this administration, we talk about sex-rejecting surgeries and procedures because that's what they are. And that was his big focus, right? I personally believe he was in that position as a statement. I personally believe he was in that position to be an eyepiece, not because he really cared about the health of the country. So I'm really happy to be in this position to be able to reverse and to right so many of the wrongs that the last administration and Levine, perpetrated on the country.
So in this position, you're able to do a lot of good. Could you talk to us about your roles and responsibilities?
Sure. As the Assistant Secretary for Health, you have kind of a three-level role. One is to help form healthcare policy, to work across the different divisions of the Department of Health and Human Services, to work with the CDC and NIH and FDA, and work with HHS leadership to help form healthcare policy. So we help form the policy. We help implement that policy. There's also a communication role, which really appeals to me.
Welcome back to The Right Side. You're in the right place at the right time, and we're so glad you're here. Thanks to everybody who is online. And look, if you enjoyed the show today, we would be so grateful if you would share it with friends and family alike, with people that you know will agree and people that you think may not. That's okay.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Like, really use us to influence others. Like, you don't have to say it. We'll say all the things, and you can be like, I was listening to the show, and I don't know. What do you think about this? And that way, the burden's not on you.
That's
It's
exactly
on
right.
the right side.
Yeah.
Can I just say also the right side, the right place at the right time? Like, that's good.
I think she just came up with that all on her own just then.
Starbucks.
Let's just,
Thanks, JP.
what do they say? Click it.
Clock it.
Clock it.
By the
right.
way, did you see that girl?
Yes,
I was so proud of myself that Molly. All right. Our youngest child is 18, 19. And sometimes we go through what they say that I have no idea what they're saying, but she taught me about clock it. And at the State of the Union last week, the young woman who was transitioned behind her parents' back and then detransitioned was just beautiful. But when they stood up to recognize her, she did the clock it. And I was like, I know what that means.
See, I thought that was like a little, you know how you can play the little violin?
The world's smallest violin.
Yeah, but I thought it was like a little clap. But that's clock it.
Yeah.
Clock it.
Clock it is that universal word, that
So old.
universal signal. But in my brainicle, it meant clock it.
Yeah, no, it probably was.
Mark it.
I'm just old.
You know,
Some
let's
say
be old
boomerish.
together. It's fine.
But the right side, right place, right time. Clock it.
Okay.
Done.
Done and dusted. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to run out of time, but we're not, because we're going to manage our time well and get through how in the world we're here with Iran. What is going on? Many of you know, and you probably remember. Some of you are like, I don't know. But one of the things that we enjoy doing is going through the history of a thing and understanding why we are here. We also are fond, by the way, just heads up, of saying what the great Steve Day says often, and perhaps you agree, worldview is destiny. And that affects a lot of what we talk about, because how you view the world matters, and how we view the Iran situation matters. Now, we're not going to go to the mat on it, but we are going to talk about it. So here's how we got here, and I'm going to put my glasses on for this one. Okay? All right?
No shame. No shame.
It's
No
serious.
shame. No shame, guys. Thank you, Allison Sinclair, for letting me be seen. And you listened and you didn't judge. All right. Y'all probably know this. In 1979, Iran's 2,500-year monarchy collapsed in 14 days, which, don't you think that's odd? The Shah of Iran, once the U.S.'s closest ally, was exiled. An exiled cleric, Ruhollah Khomeini, returned. And the Middle East hasn't been the same since. The fall of Iran was not sudden. It unraveled gradually. For decades, the U.S.-backed Shah of Iran tried to modernize the country at breakneck speed, but he underestimated the power of religion, resentment, and revolution. And as we're having this discussion, what rings true to me is this underestimation of what Islamists are willing to do. Because now you see women in the streets dancing without their hijabs. And why are they doing that? Because they would have been beaten
So
if it wasn't on.
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So Iran before 1979 and the Islamic Revolution, what was it? Was it a free state democracy? Like what was happening over there?
It was free. It was a place people wanted to visit. The women dressed like we did. They went to university. They married. They looked forward to careers. Because think about it, Iran was the place that was really known for architecture and mathematics. And they were a growing country. They were, and still are, a beautiful people. And then overnight, their worlds changed. And it was actually communist that aligned kind of secretly, quietly. And we as a country may or may not have joined with that. I don't know. I'm going to let that leave you to decide as we go through this history. This is from History Nerd, by the way, on Twitter. And I find that when I need a breakdown of what's going on, they are who I turn to.
So,
But it was just a normal country.
so kind of like the U.S.
Yeah, if you
exactly
see
like the
videos,
US.
some like the beaches look like Miami.
They do. And they said that it was like Miami. It was like Monaco. It was the place everybody wanted to go to. They would celebrate their 1,000 year, 2,000 year. Of course, we could only see the 2,000 year, 2,500 year anniversary of King Pahlavi and his wife. Think about it. This is the place of Esther. This is a place that we've read about in the Bible. This is a place of Daniel. This is one of the oldest communities, countries on the planet. And overnight, seemingly in 14 days, really, it was destroyed.
And see, that just doesn't, I think in America, we've been so comfortable and complacent. We think that can never happen. And when I think of Iran in my head, it's been this way forever and it just hasn't. And so I think it's a really good wake up call to us over here, how quickly things can change.
Yes. The Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi took the throne in 1941. He was educated in Switzerland, and he dreamed of turning Iran into a modern empire. Great idea. Oil would fund it. U.S. weapons would protect it. There we are. And westernization would define it. But beneath the glittering surface of modernization, pressure was building. And so his land reforms upended feudal structures. Remember, this is an ancient country. His secular policies angered the clergy. There they are. And his secret police tortured dissenters. So even
this is
then,
leading up to 79.
This is leading up to 79, where we saw it crack, but it had been cracking way before then. And so his fiercest opponent, Shah Pahlavi's fiercest opponent, was Khomeini. And from exile in France, Khomeini wrote and preached of an Islamic republic where religion and politics were one. His book, Islamic Government, was banned in Iran, so it spread underground. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Shah thought the clerics were his allies. After all, they hated communism, but that was his mistake. By suppressing secular opposition and empowering the religious elite, he unknowingly handed them the infrastructure for a revolution. Khomeini was exiled in 1964, first to Iraq, then to France, but the exile is what gave him power. And that's when, from a quiet suburb outside Paris, he recorded speeches, smuggled in cassette tapes, and inspired a generation.
Okay,
with his
what
defiance.
year was that? Because
1964.
Okay, so we're almost to the hostage
This is
situation.
right. So here we
Okay.
are. We're at hostage. In 1978, that's when the revolution ignited. Mass protest, strikes, demonstrators began to shout, "Death to the Shah." So there we go. 1979. This is where many of you guys will remember history, where you were. On January 16th, 1979, the Shah fled Iran. That was the end of the 2,500-year-old monarchy. The King of Kings boarded a plane into exile, and 14 days later, Khomeini returned. Millions flooded the street to welcome him home. Millions, even women, thinking, oh, this is great. This is what we're for. And then that wasn't what was great. It was an inversion of power. The exiled cleric was triumphant. The westernized emperor was gone. Mosques began replacing the palace. The Quran replaced the Constitution. Are y'all listening? Hello, Dearborn. Hello, Minneapolis. Hello, Texas. Hello, Georgia. Iran became the world's first modern theocracy. U.S. officials were stunned. Saudi Arabia grew nervous. The Cold War dynamic shifted. And now Iran's oil once flowed freely. And here we go. Khomeini's rise shaped geopolitics overnight. And what happened was that Khomeini purged his rivals. That's where the trouble came in. The people that thought, oh, we're partnering together. This is great. Well, then they were purged because, like all communists, because remember, Islam and communism are almost, they're sisters. They're sisters in a way. Anybody who didn't agree with them was out. Women were covered. The secret police was around. Then they became the morality police. And then women basically were sent home. No more school, no more freedom, no more driving. You're out. Only Khomeini, only the clerics, only anybody inside the mosque, which are men. And the country completely changed. Then they started developing nuclear weapons. But don't forget the hostage crisis. Do you guys remember that?
I was one.
I barely remember it.
I was kind of
I was 6.
I know of it.
Yeah.
And then the Iran-Iraqi war,
Yep.
which followed between 1980 1988. And I guess the U.S. kind of sided with Iraq, which is ironic.
Yes.
Then it just gets kind of when was Oliver North? He was
So
somewhere
Oliver North happened in the 80s.
Yep. That was late 1980s.
So that was late 1980s. So what you go from is this whole shift in Iran, a whole shift in geopolitics. You move from that shift. Americans had hostages when Jimmy Carter was president for what, 458 days?
444.
444 days. And then the day 20 minutes after, was it Reagan was inaugurated, 20 minutes later, the hostages were free.
Yeah.
So we have a real problem over there. That's the part that you want to go suss out, like who did what when. We're not going to do that today, but that's a whole thing right within that. And then you have today. But along the way, yes, you've got Oliver North. Then you have Iran growing into a nuclear power. Then you have all the red lines that Republican and Democrat presidents said, this is a line in the sand. Then remember Obama with his, how much cash did he give them?
$6 billion.
Yep.
$6 billion.
But it was earmarked. So
That's
they
right.
couldn't use it for terrorism.
No.
And money's not fungible.
No, because you can trust the terrorists and they're going to do exactly what we say. So you have all that in there. And then here we are now with June 5th. Is that right? 2025?
I don't know the exact date, but June.
We
yes.
strike, we take out nuclear capabilities. But then, oh, by the way, what kind of materials are still left over, you guys? We still have that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still a threat no matter what we did. And I agreed with it because we were in and out. But then you still have the nuclear capabilities because they can still have and get what they need to continue making weapons, because they're never going to do what they say they're going to do. We've talked about at length on the show, whose responsibility is it to carry out these strikes? Really, we were in favor of Israel because they're right there. And yes, they are our partner in the Middle East. That's true. But then you also have the uprising of the Iranian people. And you have also what you have at the same time that I've seen online, revivals going on underground and people coming to Christ. But if you admit that publicly, you will be killed. Then you have all of the people along the way over the last couple months that we've heard, the uprisings in the street, murders, executions, and the like happening. And now we're here that over the weekend, you wake up and we get a text from JP that you say, here we are at war.
Yeah.
And now we can't tear our eyes away because you think, what is going to happen? How long is this going to take? We also have old clips of Hillary Clinton saying if she became president, she would strike Iran. You have clips of Obama dealing with Iran, talking about Iran. I'm sure if we went in and talked about Iran, we'd find George Bush in there as well. So while the media is trying to smear Trump, you've got the Democrats and former Republicans doing the exact same thing when they were in office. But it all leaves us with questions that I would love for y'all to answer. Where do you think we go next? How long do you think this is going to happen? Friends online, what are your thoughts about what happened over the weekend? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I am very conflicted on this one, and I have been from the beginning. I get things change. I get we are not privy. I don't care if it's talking about a bill or an amendment in DC or if it's wartime decisions. We are not privy to all the information that our government officials have. However, I look back on Donald Trump and he and JD Vance, I mean, they basically campaigned on this. No more wars. We're done with the Middle East. No more foreign blah, 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 blah. I see the good in it. I mean, you think about if that were us it seems like Iran looked a lot like us before the revolution. If that were us, we would be welcoming help.
Hmm.
I mean, what do? You have a crazy lunatic dictator
Yep.
that is in charge. At the same time, my word, you have all these European countries that are way closer, that if you look at the little concentric circles, I don't know, some of Iran's missiles may actually make it over there, and none of them are engaging in this. Like, why is it always us?
Mm.
Our homeland is a mess. Our home, our house, our family life is very much in disorder. So can we really take this on and do it well? And why is it always us?
Mm.
And that's what I go back. But if we're going to do it, we got to do it.
Like scorched earth, do it.
Like turn it to glass or something. Well, I mean, I don't know if you can do that without taking out all the good people, but basically turn that regime to glass and just end it. So we're in it and we better do it well. There is no backing out now.
Well, first, I'm going to put up a map here. This is from CNN. This is for all of our watchers. These are the current strikes. So the tan/yellow countries are all the countries that Iran has struck, and the blue dots are strikes from Iran. The red dots are strikes from America and Israel. If you know, so the big cluster right there in Kuwait was where 4 American soldiers were killed from an Iranian strike. And as of right now, 18 total are in critical condition. 18 total American soldiers are in critical condition from this whole deal. But I want to compare and contrast this to what we saw in January, which was the sacking of Maduro, which was brilliant on so many different levels. The ability to go in and out without any casualties, just in, out. We got Maduro, but it wasn't even a regime change because the Maduro regime is still there. But what that said was to the vice president, hey, you cooperate with us, give us what we want, give us oil, or we'll Maduro you. And so now they're like, yes, sir. So now we got a compliant, we in, out, got our guy in a couple of hours, no American soldiers dead, done. This, however, the risk to reward ratio was way out of whack, in my opinion, because Israel kills Khamenei. Now what? Trump even said today that all of the potential successors they were thinking of were killed in strikes. Okay, so now what? What's the plan? Okay, we went in, we did strikes. 4 American soldiers are dead. 18 more in critical condition. It's way out of our sphere of influence in the Middle East. What is the backup plan? Because now Iran is closing down the Strait of Hormuz. They're shooting everywhere in Dubai, in Oman, in Saudi Arabia. They're just causing havoc for everybody globally. Now oil prices are probably going to skyrocket because of the chaos. And it's okay. What's the plan? All right, we did our strikes, and I kind of get the feeling that we don't know what to do next. Trump is saying that it could be 4 weeks long, and Hexex like it could be 6 weeks, it could be whatever. That's up to Trump. That shows me you don't really have a plan of what's going on here.
How do you do this without a plan? Like Donald Trump and the people in charge are not stupid people. So how I can't. I mean, I see what you're saying because it is kind of weird. We're losing what we had 3 Strike Eagles shot down by friendly fire. I'm like, okay, one's a mistake. 2, 3.
Yeah,
that's kind of weird. So things are, and I think Iran's response has been way stronger than they anticipated.
Right.
And they're like you showed, they're going after their neighbors. So this could escalate quickly. Did we not see this coming?
Well, I think we had a plan. And it was we hope this happens plan. We hope the Iranians rise up and overthrow the regime. We hope we've got some contenders to take place of the Ayatollah. Oops, they're all dead now. I don't know. It seems like we're kind of scrambling a little bit here.
So, Abs, you talk a lot about the protests. And I mean, I remember talking about this and you were all in support of like the people rising up and that we had to go help them. But do you think that the response from the people in Iran has been less supportive than they anticipated? Or what do you think?
So I follow a girl on X. She's an Iranian. Her name is Goldie. And there's another lady that I follow.
Very Iranian.
She is I'll have to show her. She's amazing. So she gets online and gives good info. But the Iranians are thrilled. They are in the streets. They are dancing. I saw some images this weekend of women throwing off their hijabs and dancing. They have waited for help. They have wanted help. They said from the beginning, we're not Muslim. They were Persian. They were a secular country, and they didn't like being forced into that religion. And so the women have been very, very outspoken about the protest. I think what's happened, though, is that so many of them were executed. Remember, a couple weekends ago, they were going through the hospitals, executing people. I think this is going to require much more help than anybody anticipated, because apparently, and I'll check in the break, but the Daily Mail has some stories about messages that Iranians are smuggling out of the country because the regime was waiting for this. And they are still dug in strongholds that we apparently need to check into. So this, I believe, will take much longer. But the Iranian people are very glad for the help. They wanted to be free. But we'll have to see. It's a wait and see. But I agree with you. If we're going to do this, we need to do it. We can't mess around. But my opinion is that we should have waited, or should have done this after the hostages were freed in 1980. This was allowed to go on so long. Now we're dealing with a monster of epic proportions that it seems that has taken our leadership by surprise. Maybe not. Maybe that's what their public facing information is saying, but behind the scenes are like, okay, well, this was option 1. This was option 2. We're going to have to go to DEFCON. What is it? 4? Yeah. And go to
98.
option 3.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to have to do. So I think the people are happy. I think they wanted help. There's an underground government going on. Apparently, like I said, I'll look in the break. And then you have what we're going to have to do, and everybody else is coming around and coalescing because they're like, oh, this is way worse than we thought.
Okay. But is there, I don't know how else to say it, is there a resistance leader? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
and
is
that's
there
what I don't
somebody
know.
that
I don't know.
they have to step in and
Pahlavi is the one. The king in exile is the one who's giving messages.
JP's given.
Okay, well, that guy has lived in America for years, hasn't had any connections really to Iran other than that he's, his family
But he's giving
history.
plenty of messages, and they are looking to him. And if you follow the Iranians, they are looking to him as the one to come back. And he has agreed that he would step in interim until they could find somebody.
Okay.
But they asked him on CBS or 60 Minutes about Trump and their relationship. And Trump has even said, yes, he could be our person. So
I know we've got to go to a break in just a minute, but when we come back, do y'all want to walk through some of kind of the specifics of what's happening or has happened?
Mhm.
Y'all want to do that? I think it's important to kind of get caught up on, because it's hard to get information.
Yep.
And I laugh. Poor people that aren't on X. They're not going to get the information on the Facebook until about 2 days from now.
it's true.
So we're going to try and bring it to you today as it's happening. We've got a lot of Alabama news as well. So stick with us through the break. Hey, enjoy during the break. We filmed some podcasts, and some of those clips will be coming up. You can go to our social media and find those podcasts. You go to YouTube, Rightside Media, and watch the podcast there. We'll be right back.
Y'all have heard us talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles.
Paul and his team are experts on what they call biblically responsible investing. And for a limited time, they're hosting a free class that you can register for.
Check out the class and register for free at moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, and it's financial freedom.
Again, go to Inspire Advisors at moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out and tell them you heard about them at Rightside Radio.
That we help to communicate the policy to healthcare establishments, healthcare providers, and to the country at large. Okay. The Surgeon General falls under the Assistant Secretary for Health. So when we have our new Surgeon General in, And I'm happy to say that Dr. Casey Means will be having her hearing before the Senate on the 25th of this month, I believe. She'll be an amazing Surgeon General. We're going to work so well together. But together, we'll be advancing the message of the Department of Health and Human Services and President Trump to the American people. So there's that communication aspect to the role. And then also, the Assistant Secretary for Health can serve as a civilian, or they can do as I did, which is request commission from the president. So I have been commissioned as the senior admiral at the Public Health Service, specifically the Commission Corps. So you have the U.S. Public Health Service, and then you have something called the Commission Corps, and these are commissioned officers. I'm a 4-star admiral. I lead the Commission Corps, and so one of the other roles I have is as a flag officer and admiral is to lead the Commission Corps of the Public Health Service, and that's about 5,400 doctors, nurses, pharmacists, therapists. Believe it or not, we've got a few veterinarians in there as well,
Wow.
dentists, dermatologists. We are Secretary Kennedy's tip of the spear strike force for public health initiatives. And it's really a privilege to wear this uniform. It's a privilege to receive the salutes that I receive from other members of other uniformed services and my own officers. To wear this uniform is a privilege, but that's a big part of what I do, is to lead the Commission Corps, because we really are the edge of the knife, the tip of the spear for public health in the United States. And I have officers deployed other parts of the world as well, primarily in the U.S. We work at Guantanamo Bay, for instance. We work with ICE agencies. We work with DHS. We supply doctors and nurses to the Indian Health Service, which is a big role. We have officers that work at FDA, work at CDC. They're out in community health centers. So we're all over the place, but that's part of my role as well.
Wow.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
I had no idea.
It's a lot of people. And these officers, these are good men and women. These are good men and women who want to serve, who care about this country. And one of the things I have been told by officer after officer is they said, we are so happy that we have a new Assistant Secretary for Health. We're demoralized by our prior Assistant Secretary because we knew he didn't really care about us. He put the uniform on as a political stunt. Brian, you wear the uniform because you care about the country and you want to serve the president and the secretary.
So going into this role, like, you're just kind of starting. If now, and hopefully we'll do an interview as you're leaving and we can reassess, but give us your top 3, like, these are the things that I definitely want to get done while I'm here. What would those be?
Yeah, and so my agenda is, of course, Secretary Kennedy's agenda and the president's agenda. We all work for the president. He's the commander-in-chief. I work with Secretary Kennedy as we both serve the president and serve the people. And so the things that are really important to us at the Department of Health and Human Services, we know that affordability of health care, affordability of drugs, making sure we have good health care delivered to everybody, whether it be in a city or in these rural environments, that is something incredibly important to the president and the secretary and myself. Also, we have our values issues. In other words, and we can talk about this, right to life issues, respect for the dignity of every man, woman, and child in this country. That's incredibly important to us. Taking care of men, taking care of women, that's important. So affordability, these values issues, and doing everything so different from the last administration and the last Department of Health and Human Services. We absolutely are guided by science. That's something that Secretary Kennedy has said again and again. We are guided by gold standard science, and we use that science to form policy and to do things that are going to make America healthier than she's ever been.
Okay, but Dr. Fauci says he is science. So are we Dr. Fauci science, or are we, like,
Nope.
how do you?
Are we science?
We are science. We are science. Listen, people can think what they want about Dr. Fauci. I prefer not to think about Dr. Fauci. I don't have much regard or respect for that individual. But who I do have regard and respect for are RFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Jay Bhattacharya, Dr. Bhattacharya, who was so incredibly
Welcome back to the Right Side.
Oops.
Hello, everybody.
Sorry.
Hey, it's fine. This is like
We're all
live.
friends, right?
Yeah, you're among friends.
Circle of trust.
We don't judge.
Yeah, there's only 3 of us right here.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
It's fine. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to wrap up Iran by talking about where we are right now. Then we will also talk about Alabama news. There's a couple of banger stories from Yellowhammer and then some tragic news that came out of Homewood, Alabama today. And then after that break, we will do the 3. And that is where we take stories we've wanted to talk about, and we'll talk about them for a minute because in this format, we actually have the time to do so. We can catch our breath. But before we do any of that, y'all have thoughts, and we're going to go through some of your text. JP.
Well, let's go through some of our stream comments real quick. We got a good bit of them here. We got Randy from Robinson says love from Springville, Alabama.
Oh, thanks,
Randy.
Dave.
What does he do? He looks like he's in a coral reef. What is that
It
picture?
looks like a bunch of cotton.
Oh, cotton.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. I guess he'd have to be underwater for that one.
Big Dave says hello, ladies.
Hey,
Big
Dave.
Look at what a cute little
That's
caricature.
So cute. We should do that.
I haven't figured out how to do that.
I haven't.
It's the chat GPTs.
Yeah, but if you don't use chat GPT for a bunch of personal stuff, apparently it can't pull it up. Or
What?
like I did it and it showed me in Congress with like I look like
Because let's be honest, that's probably where you need to be at some point in your life.
Nobody wants to go to DC.
Nobody does, but sometimes there are people.
I'll keep the microphone.
Do y'all remember the trend where people had like action figures in a
Yes.
I made one of those with ChatGPT. It's not, I think you can figure it
Okay.
Well, this boomer needs help.
out.
Help us, JP.
Jeff from Indiana on the comment says,
Hey, Jeff.
congratulations on your first day with Yellowhammer.
I'm glad Jeff is here.
Mac Myers 4522 on YouTube says, yeehaw, congrats.
Wait,
Thanks.
is that Mac? Is that Mac?
Who's
Who's Mac?
Okay.
Do you know who Mac is?
Yeah. He's our new biggest fan.
Hey, Mac.
I think that's Connor's friend.
Sweet. All
I
right.
took him a
Sweet.
t-shirt. He's real excited.
Okay.
John from Huntsville on the YouTube says, what's up, JP? What's up, John? Mark from Marty says, or Mark Marty is actually Marty from Clay, says that he was 12 when the Iranian Revolution happened, said he remembers it all. Says, congratulations, Rightside. I'm still with you, Marty from Clay.
Thank you, Marty from Clay.
Yep. Round of applause.
Let's see
12.
here.
Wow.
He also says Trump has a plan, but he isn't going to let us know.
I agree with you, Marty.
Mm.
I think he's got a plan. I think we're not going to know about it.
Well, let me tell you this, just dropping on the Twitters, the Twix. Insider Paper is reporting that President Trump says he won't rule out boots on the ground in Iran, according to the New York Post.
So that is the only thing that makes this different than like the Iraq War.
Yep.
Is there's that not actual boots on the ground yet. But if you're going to do strikes, you got to debilitate them so you don't need boots on the ground. And I don't think we've done that, which is why he's saying that.
This is JP, our war correspondent. We hope you enjoy him because he's very smart. Okay, carry on.
Call me Colonel JP.
I have a weighted vest. You know how I'm going to bring you my weighted vest you can wear tomorrow and do an update for us on the war.
With a helmet on.
Yes, I'll get
bring-
you a helmet
Bring
today.
a bike helmet.
Yes.
What
Okay.
What was that one CNN
Yeah.
lady that was doing that during the
Christian
Ukraine war?
Amanpour. No, not Christian.
The short hair,
Well, she was hiding like, oh, we're getting bombed right now. And then there's civilians just like walking by her like nothing's happening.
Oh,
Yeah.
we are so going to
No,
give him
you
a
need
war
to be
correspondent
like-
get up.
every day of the war, which I shouldn't laugh this much because this is very serious. But every day of the war, you're going to do a live update.
Let's go to JP on the ground in
What?
Iran. JP, can you hear us?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I got
start
you.
throwing paper wads at you.
You know what I'll throw?
We're doing
I'll throw ketchup packets at you and like let it. All right. Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
This
What else we
is
got?
Chris Lefevre on Facebook. He has a quote. I think he's attacking Trump with this quote. It says, if this is from Donald Trump in 2024, if Kamala wins, only death and destruction await because she's the candidate of endless wars. I am the candidate of peace. The Donald Trump, November 1st, 2024.
Hey, Chris Lefevre. I don't know
Lefevre.
which way you say it, but hey, you know what? I think that fine. That is exactly what he said. However, there comes a point where you may have to exert peace through strength, and this is strength right now.
Does
But-
anybody else,
Not happy with the endless war. I
aka
agree with you.
Chris, think it's funny? Not funny? Look, when I get nervous, I laugh. That's my coping mechanism.
She knows that.
So,
Really
but he just hosted that giant board of peace meeting.
Where they're really bored of peace, BORED.
And, There we go. And now a week later, we're probably starting World War III.
Here's what I want to know. I really want to know this. Chris, what do you think would have been a better option? Because we're not, like, we're with you, not a fan. I was a neocon. I am not anymore. I've completely changed. Yeah. How can you, we'll come up with the nickname for that. But I really would love your opinion on what would be a better option. Just leave it alone completely or go about it a different way. Okay.
We got Gianna Atkins on Facebook says, love you all. Thank you for the update.
Oh, thank you.
So sweet.
Let's see. Lisa from Huntsville.
Hey, Lisa.
Lisa.
On the text
My girl.
line says, good morning. Great show, ladies. My first thought Saturday when I heard the news that we had struck at Iran was that we are actually living in the meme that says, quote, me looking outside to see what chapter of Revelation we're doing today.
Yeah.
This has been a long time coming. I was a high school junior in 1979, and I remember it all.
It's like when you look back and you're raising your kids and you look back and you're like, yeah, we should have handled that attitude 5 years ago.
Oh, wow. That hurts. Yeah.
And probably way overdue. It just stinks. Like, I just didn't want to be back here. But here we be.
Brad from Crimestone County, he said, Allison, quote, how do you do this without a plan? And he says, Allison, have you not been paying attention to Don's presidency both terms? Has he ever had a plan that went beyond maybe 2 weeks? Brad from Crimestone.
I will say touche. I do think you're halfway right. Historically, Republicans do not do a great job having a plan.
Yeah.
Like, the Muslims are coming at us, the communists are coming at us, the Chinese are coming at. They've had a 200-year plan, and we can barely make it to the midterms. Maybe May 19th. Yeah. So we
can't even get our courage up to fight back on some things that, again, should have dealt with 5 years ago. But we're like, oh, that made people mad, and I don't want to make anybody
go
mad.
We'll do one last text here, and when we'll wrap up Iran. Jeff from Indiana, he says, consistent weak leadership from the U.S. is the reason why Iran was what they are. Only strong U.S. leadership bringing the regime to an end, and they were afraid of Reagan and released the hostages after wimpy Carter. But then the presidents between Reagan and now have been very weak, and that is why they lasted as long as they did. What needs to be done in Iran now is to find a way to arm the opposition and help them congregate behind a central leader to fight the Islamic rule.
Yes. They do need somebody on the ground there and not the king that they hope comes back, even though he's doing good things. And I think he's sending them messages. This is from a perspective of, I really don't want this to be happening at all, but they do need a resistance leader, boots on the ground in there with them. And Jeff's right. They need to do this for themselves and fight back as much as humanly possible. We need to be the guides. They need to be the ones that are like, nope, we're not doing this anymore, and really fighting back. I totally agree with that. Those are good words. Thanks, y'all. We'll do that every day.
It's exciting.
Check in with you, get your thoughts, and even things we haven't brought up that you want us to talk about. Send them in. That's
JP,
why we're here. One giant conversation.
What's the number one more time if people want to text in?
That number is 833-687-4448 or 833-68 right.
And you'll have to tune in tomorrow because you will see JP dressed up in his war correspondent material.
I will do it.
I know you'll do it. We also want to send you out and do the man on the street interviews.
Okay,
we just got to figure out, like, when we have the sidewalk film festivals and all the fluffies are here, you got to go down and do that. Like, there's so many things that you would be fabulous in a man on the street.
We have to get him one of those little fuzzy microphones.
The lapel mic.
Yeah. We really got to have and then we need you to hold it really close to your face.
Yeah. Well, okay. We need to get Jared Hudson did a video in full tactical gear this weekend. Maybe we just need to get like that from Jared. Get the helmet, get the glasses, get the vest.
Where'd that come from? Well, Jared had it.
Jared Hudson.
Yeah.
He's playing war.
But he was responding to the Iran strikes in that gear. And when I saw that, I was like, I just thought
we can do it. We'll go get you. Do you need a gun?
We can have a toy gun. Maybe a BB
like a
gun.
water gun.
Hey,
BB gun.
I have a look. We listen and we don't judge.
Just wait for tomorrow. You're gonna regret.
I'm not gonna bring an actual gun, but I have an AK that we bought from somebody that they had on the gun zombie apocalypse
Oh,
weapon.
wow.
I don't know who Chris got it from. We got it at the gun store.
Is this
we bought
legal?
it legally. Yeah, we bought it legally, but that's how they have their gun. Like, I'll send you
You
a
can't
picture.
bring that.
I'm not bringing it.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious. We need something like that, but fake. You need fake. Like, you need it like slung across your back.
We're going to work
You
on
know?
this.
Oh, this is going to be fantastic.
Stay tuned.
Oh, I love it. Okay. So we should check in. What's the timeline right now?
Well,
we've seen,
yeah.
news conferences, but what's happening?
I mean, we've lost how many soldiers? 3?
4, 18 in critical condition.
And they were all from the missile that was launched at the Kuwaiti base.
Yeah, that's where all the 4 died.
Okay. Then we've had 3 Strike Eagles, F-15E Strike Eagles, shot down in Kuwait airspace, right?
By accident. It was friendly fire.
And did everybody make it?
Yeah,
Yes,
all the crews
they
are
made
in
it
stable
out.
condition.
Hey,
Okay.
look, video right now, as if I knew you were going to say that.
That's actually pretty cool.
Isn't that neat? So thank God they're okay.
Okay. Well, you know what? To that, I say the Kuwaitis need to practice target shooting a little bit more. If you're really trying to take them out, we need to be better.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I'm glad they weren't though. Trump is contemplating boots on the ground.
Yep. Hegseth today said it could be 4 weeks, it could be 6, because Trump told the media that it's looking like a 4-week timeline right now. And Hegseth today said it could be 6, it could be less.
So they took out the Ayatollah, and
Took
then
out the Ayatollah.
did they take out the next guy too?
Yes, they've
Yep.
taken out, and I can find that for you. I saw it early this morning, but they had a list of all the people that have been taken out that are in top leadership. And then after that is when I found the Daily Mail story. I'm going to go to it right now. That shows that there's some underground information going on, and now it's gone, but it's there. And so we'll have to find that out. But there's something else I'm bothered by. So basically, it's an influx situation. We're watching the news as it comes in. We're all wondering, what's the point? Is this 4 weeks? Is this 6 weeks? Is this 8 weeks? Nobody knows. But what I'm bothered by, and I wondered if you saw this, is the New York Times did a puff piece on the Ayatollah.
Oh my gosh. What? That was crazy. What
Right?
didn't it say? Like, and he could paint really well.
They have that, which is unbelievable. The New York Times article that was reposted on X from 1979 is unbelievable. And then I just came across this while you were giving us an update, is local Virginia mosque is honoring the life of Khomeini. Like, Virginia.
Are we shocked? No.
No, but like, guys, do you remember what he said about women? So, like, animals.
It's probably a bunch of white liberal women
It's probably.
putting up his.
But those are the
poster.
people you've allowed to come here. They're living in Virginia, honoring Khomeini. What are we doing?
Quickly, before we move on to some Alabama news, did y'all see that Donald Trump did say if they kill him, he basically has a kill switch? Like, he has a plan in place to, like, release the Kraken.
Really?
Yes. But I wonder, I mean, so they have to have that too. And I'm guessing over in Iran, you've got to go about 6 layers deep to really kill the regime.
Mhm.
So I hope they're prepared for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I don't know. And I mean, this can be the last thoughts on it if we want, but I don't think we really should have gotten involved. I don't think this was urgent enough to get involved with right now. I felt like it was Israel's the one that killed Khamenei. So I
Yeah.
don't understand how Israel can go in and handle their business. I don't know. I just feel like the risk reward ratio was not enough to do it. And I think we're about to pay the risk because I don't think there's enough of a contingency plan, and we're just going to get more and more sucked into it.
Mhm.
So I don't know. That's my pessimistic prediction, but I'm not liking how it's looking right now. We should have had somebody in place, take them out, swift.
Mhm.
And that's hard to do in a country of 90 million people.
But JP, the problem though with that is that then they would have had to admit that the CIA could have been involved at some level.
Oh, gosh.
Did I say that out loud?
Now you're meddling, and we don't have
Surely
time for that.
not.
Look, listen, it could have been years ago. It could have been kicking up this newest protest. We have no knowledge of that, but we do know that our government sometimes starts things that we don't find out about until years later. I'm just putting that out there into the ether.
Go ahead.
What do you think about that? I don't even know if that's true or not, but if it is, they don't want to do it that way because for whatever reason this time, they just didn't. I am interested though on the other side because I do think there's a plan and I do think there's 1, 2, 3, and then there's DEFCON 4, if that's the highest level. I don't even know enough military terms to know that. DEFCON 4, but I think we're going to find out on the other side when we're done with this, what their plans were. I think I agree with you that there is a plan. We're just not privy to all of it.
I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right too. But then again, when we're wrong, we say we're wrong.
And then I'll be the devil's advocate or the bad cop and say, I don't think so.
Hey, who knows? We're all paying attention, doing the best we can. I don't know.
We're just talking. We're just asking questions.
Yeah, that's all.
That's what we do. And
Yeah.
hey, if we're wrong, I'll happily tell you I'm wrong. There are so many things that we say that I really hope we're wrong about.
That's right.
That would be best case scenario.
Yes.
That we have no clue what we're talking about.
And this is getting a firstborn and an only child to say we wish we were wrong.
It's difficult.
We don't do that well. So on to Alabama news. Keep your thoughts flowing, please. But on to Alabama news. There's some big things that have happened here over the weekend. Bills that Allison's going to follow up on for us. A horrible story out of Brookwood Hospital in Homewood. There was a murder-suicide overnight.
What do we know about that?
Well, I even checked in with Chris and nobody really knows anything. It looks like it was from the women's center. I heard somebody asking about the child, but that's really it.
It was a husband and a wife.
A husband and a wife. Don't know who killed whom. It was with a gun. But Chris wondered this morning as he was making his way in.
Who's Chris?
Chris is my husband. Jared's hers.
Chris is a doctor.
He's a gastroenterologist. We have a lot of fun with that, by the way. But he wondered if going into scope today, am I like driving through a crime scene because they were just alerted by, the men and women already there. So I'm really, really sorry for the family.
Pay attention to
that this happened to. I don't know what's going on with the like nobody knows any more than that. I saw WBRC Channel 6 did a story about it, and then that was it. Nothing. So what else you got for us, Sinclair?
Well, I just want to actually, everybody pause. Oh,
Hold.
Okay. Hold. I don't need WAFF 48 to start talking. I would like to give the legislature a shout out.
Oh, are you ready?
And an attaboy.
What?
JP.
I think.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Having said that, I haven't read the whole bill.
Okay.
But on the surface, it looks really good. And I think this is so necessary. I don't know why we're doing this just for through 5-year-olds, but there's a bill headed to the governor's desk, which means it passed the House and the Senate. It is House Bill 78, which has lots of great conservative co-sponsors. It was really Jenna Ross who wrote the bill, but it limits screen time amongst children under 5 years old in classrooms. That is so needed. And you go through this article from Noah Cowell, and it has all these interviews with these parents talking about how hard it is when they send their kids off to school to a classroom, whether it's like the pre-K program or kindergarten, to have them come home and actually focus on chores, tasks, to get them to kind of come down off that brain rot that is electronics. And so this is very much needed. I wish, they took out, again, thank you to the legislature passing the, what's it called? There's an act for everything. Where it took cell phones out of classrooms.
Oh,
Focus.
The Focus Act.
Yep.
That was good.
Don't know how I
Focus, Sinclair. It's the focus.
How'd I miss that one? The Focus Act, which, praise Jesus, literally took cell phones out of the classroom. Such a problem. So we're on the right track. I would love to see this expanded to all through 12, through K through 12. That would be my hey, we're making progress. Let's just do it all next year.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
yeah.
I'm excited. Yellowhammer has a story that I was excited about. It's from last week. Alabama lawmakers unveil a $150 million career and technical education package. And you will learn that we are big fans of this because not everybody is meant to go to college. And wouldn't it be great if while you're still in high school, you are able to train for your future career? Especially when parents turn around and look at college and finish, and you're like, they didn't need to go to college. Or at the same time, we've looked down upon trade and tech skills, and you think, why do we do that either? For a person to be successful, they need to do what they're good at. And I'm so excited about the House Joint Resolution calling for a $150 million state investment to expand workforce training programs across the state. The funding proposal is accompanied by 2 workforce-focused bills designed to recruit industry professionals into career and technical education classrooms, CTE, and streamlining streamlined certification for experienced educators relocating to Alabama. And it's regional tech center grants, it's investments, it opens doors, the article says, and they're right. Career and technical education opens doors for students and strengthens Alabama's workforce, because for some kids, it means not going to college, but you've done your tech training and you're immediately eligible to go work as an electrician. You can work as a plumber. You can go and work on cars immediately because you've trained for it. This is a giant bravo. And again, JP, sound effect. I am so excited about this joint resolution because it's going to benefit the state of Alabama. Not only our little kids, that Allison's right, we want this bill not to just go through 5 years old next year. Hopefully we'll see all the way through high school with their phones, but also we see that young men and women can get training earlier on and go right into the workforce. And that is excellent news.
Real quick before we go to break, there's a Yellowhammer story 10 minutes ago that's pretty big that y'all probably haven't seen yet. State Rep James Lomax files bill to cut state income tax on overtime pay.
Ooh, sweet.
So it says that he's filed legislation that would allow Alabama workers to deduct up to $1,000 in overtime pay from their state income taxes.
That's great news.
Hopefully this could lead to getting rid of the state income tax as a whole, maybe.
Sayonara. Afuera.
Afuera. Wait a second. I forgot we have a sound effect of that.
Afuera. We love you, Javi and Millie.
But what was it last year? It was like pulling teeth to get Republicans to keep tax cuts. Not just not to impose, like to just extend current tax cuts. So this is a big, if this goes through, which I hope it does, it's a positive sign.
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will have the 3 at 11:30, and we will cover some of the biggest news stories around Alabama and the country. We'll be right back.
It's JP here with Rightside. I need to remind you that Inspired Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. We know this audience, and you're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles and being good stewards of your resources. What if the companies you're invested in don't reflect your values at all? That's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspired Advisors. Inspired Advisors, they are experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. They can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspired Advisors, you got to go check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
During the COVID pandemic, he leads the NIH, the National Institutes of Health. I have respect for Dr. Oz, Mehmet Oz, who heads up CMS, Medicare and Medicaid. He is amazingly brilliant, amazingly committed to this country. We have Marty McCary, who is out at FDA. Marty also cares deeply. We don't have a CDC director right now. The interim director is a man named Jim O'Neill. Jim is also the deputy secretary at HHS, incredibly smart, incredibly strong, committed to life, committed to science. So those are the people I think about. I don't worry about Anthony Fauci. I don't want to think about Anthony Fauci. He did enough harm to this country. Yeah. I think about President Trump and our team now at HHS because we're doing amazing things.
You clearly are. So could we jump in then to those values issues
Sure.
that you've mentioned? Top of the list, right to life.
Yes.
And underneath that would be people's concern about mifepristone.
Sure.
Could you talk to us about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think, I'm 62 years old, turning 62 in December. This is the most pro-life administration that I've ever seen in my 6 decades plus of life. There's no question about it. The most pro-life administration that I've ever seen. I think the administration that is friendliest to religion and faith that I've ever seen. And President Trump has demonstrated that again and again. We stand for life. We stand for the fact that we know that life begins at conception. We respect life until life's natural end. We respect the dignity of the person. We want to make sure that we stand with individuals who believe those same things, and we do. The recent March for Life, you saw that Vice President Vance address the country. The next day, there was a breakfast that was basically for all of the youth, the young men and women who'd come into this country come into the city from across the country. There was a breakfast that morning. Jim O'Neill, the deputy secretary, and myself, we addressed those students, and there were over 2,000 people there. And we talked about the fact, what we're doing for life, the fact that we know little boys are little boys and little girls are little girls, the fact that we know life begins at conception, the fact that we are doing things like, for instance, through my office, the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Health, we administer the Title X funds. So let me tell you, so just recently, because of our oversight, directed by Secretary Kennedy, our oversight over Title X funds, $2.3 million of grants that had been given before us had to be returned by Planned Parenthood. $2.3 million that will no longer go to killing children. $2.3 million that will no longer go to lying to women. Because of our oversight, they gave that money back, which is a huge victory. Absolutely. We make sure that we're enforcing the Hyde Amendment. President Trump, Secretary Kennedy, and myself, we are strong for this. No federal dollars are going to go toward abortion or procuring abortion services. We are strong with the Hyde Amendment, and we are making sure the Hyde Amendment is being enforced, unlike the last administration. Yes. We have made sure that monies, that when you have youth, children or youths, young girls who are taken custody coming across the border or something, that federal dollars cannot go to providing abortion services, because that was going on in the last administration. Just totally disregarding the Hyde Amendment. We stand strong. That's no longer happening. So for those right to life issues, we've been incredibly strong about that, and we're very vocal about that. Again, one of the things that impresses me most about Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and he's always been this way, he really realizes that God has given an inherent dignity to every man, woman, and child, and we respect that dignity.
As an adopted person, and I know as an adoptive mother, we are so thankful for those policies. And as women who've lived through the nonsense, that the lies that have been heaped upon us, that you have to kill your child to have a life.
That's right.
We're very grateful for your stand in that regard.
Again, all of this is a privilege, but we have to do it for the country. We have to and we have to remember too that all of the wins that we have in this administration and this Department of Health and Human Services, it only takes one election cycle for things to reverse. And so we can talk about this more later, but it's incredibly important for us as conservatives, for us as people of faith, to be motivated to vote in November, to get out, support those candidates who stand with President Trump and his agenda. It's going to be more important than it's ever been. I know every election it's like, this is the most important. So I'm not going to use that hyperbole, but this is an incredibly important election in November. So I want all of the people, all of the men and women who watch this podcast, who listen to this podcast, and there are so many, I want them all to know, tell your friends, tell your families, we've got to be out there supporting candidates in congressional districts and Senate races that support the president in November.
You posted recently about gender affirming care, gender dysphoria, and kind of your work, and you just mentioned, right to life. That I would agree, that is a life issue. Were you surprised when the American Medical Association came out recently and said that gender affirming care,
Welcome back to The Right Side. She's Allison Sinclair. I'm Amy Beth Shaver, and he's JB. So we like to do a segment nearly every day called The Three. And yes, it's based off the five, kind of, sort of, loosely. where we take subjects that we've wanted to talk about, maybe we've held on to for a couple of days, and just share with y'all the story and our thoughts and perhaps have a discussion about it. So, JP, are you good? Because we are going to do the 3. Can you tell we love sound effects?
Rydell, hi.
They make
How
us
about that?
How about that?
make us happy, okay?
I have it's not really a story. It's something that I think we all need to just
Okay.
have a moment
Okay. Let's have a moment.
and talk about. And I'm going to need some help
I'm all in.
sorting through this very personal subject
Okay. I can't wait.
that is Auburn basketball.
Oh, boy.
I need help. Are we going to be okay?
Allison?
Are we going to make it?
No, y'all are bad.
What?
Why? They were
JP!
just good, and now they're bad.
So what is it? What is it? I mean, we just lost to Ole Miss, which is like
That was not good.
It's not. It's not. I haven't watched like I watched last year, but when I do watch, it's like you have no team. You know, it's a little. It just feels very disjointed. Everything feels very, very strange.
Yes.
And so I just am wondering, what is it, just first year trying to work it out, whole new coach, new players, which I hate the transfer portal. I hate NIL. Is this just the way it's going to be? Or is Stephen Pearl not what we thought he would be?
Well, may I back up even before that and ask you a question?
Oh gosh. Yes, fine.
Did you know that BP was going to retire? It felt like it came out of nowhere.
You know, there were the rumors of him running for Senate, and I don't think it was rumors. I actually think he seriously contemplated it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you heard he wasn't. And if you remember, he gave an interview, and I can't remember where it was, maybe ESPN. He was still coaching. And he talked about how tired he was.
Mm.
And he talked about how he wasn't sure how much longer he had in him. And he looked tired. And so I think I wasn't maybe surprised that it went down the way it did. I think he waited until the last minute where nobody could transfer. I think all that was purposeful.
Mm.
So the portal was closed and you had to keep everybody. But I think he was tired. I think since he's gotten involved in politics, and he obviously is very invested in the Israel-United States relations and started doing a lot of speaking, I think he kind of thought, there are other things out there that I'd like to do with my life. And I think becoming a grandfather
Mm-hmm.
and grandkids was important to him. So anyway, I'm not surprised. I was disappointed. I don't think he can be replaced even by his son. I think it could be great and something different, but it's just been hard to watch.
Well, so I agree. I think he has political ambitions in the future. I think he was expecting it to be now, but then was told otherwise. But also, I think he looked at this roster coming up and knew this was not going to be a great team. So,
do you really?
Let's just bow out now. I can, take a breath. And I mean, his last season was a Final Four run, so it's a good way to go out for him.
Why do you leave your son to take over a season you thought would be bad?
That's the question. I don't know. I mean, I think Steven's going to be okay long term. I think he was put in a bad position because of how late Bruce retired, but also he didn't really have enough time to recruit his players, and I don't know. It's not a great roster, just to be honest with you.
So you're saying the roster, even as Bruce was exiting, was already not going to be great.
And those were
because
kids
somebody
he recruited, though.
Like Janai left, the other guys left. He knew this was a middling team at best. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, Tahad Pettiford is great. He came back, but then also their star, Keyshawn Johnson, is a locker room problem, and they've had to discipline him. It's just not Auburn's team last year was like loaded. and this year it's just not. So just from an outside perspective, I think that's. I mean, I think Bruce was ready. I think he kind of reached the point of just tired. And would you rather end on a Final Four team and see the bad team coming up? Would you rather suffer through that when you already know you're like on your last, whatever? But the timing of it, he kind of like stuck all of the recruits because it was after signing day, so they were stuck, and so the timing was a little crappy in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I mean, they may squeak into the tournament. May.
Let's just call it.
We done.
Let's don't even do it. Let's just call it. Did y'all see though that Chad Baker Mazar was dismissed from
USC?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Did they say why?
I haven't seen why.
Oh, we need to check, my friends.
Karma, you know what they say about it. It's not fun.
Tis not.
Tis not. I did hear. Okay, we're going to start a new segment called Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I love it.
It's where we tell all the gossip we've heard, but we're not 100% sure. But I mean, we've heard it and allegedly. So allegedly, Bruce Pearl, I've heard that Mike Huckabee might be stepping down or exiting as ambassador for Israel. And
really?
Yes.
He oughta. I'm sorry.
And that Bruce Pearl might allegedly. Yeah, that's what the button's going to be.
That's good.
And maybe we need a video.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly. You say it so well. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just a little tidbit that I heard.
Okay, I like your tidbit.
And we can say whatever we want under the guise of allegedly, and you can't attack us.
Oh, wait for we.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Are we doing Lindsey Graham style?
Yes. We
Lindsey
are.
Graham.
Allegedly.
So, Allison, that's a good story.
Well,
And
it wasn't
I'm-
really a story. I just have I
Well,
lie
it's-
awake at night contemplating. That's a joke, but I am a little worried.
You do wonder how a team could be so good one year. I know people exit, but they had the same coaching staff. And how can they instantly turn to, like, I don't even know what word. You don't like my word, milk toast, but
I don't.
that's not a good word.
There's another word you say that I really don't like.
I'm not saying that word today.
Don't do it.
But you do wonder, like on the outside, you go, how is this possible? They were unfreaking believable last year. And now, even if people left, you're always deepening your bench. You're making sure everybody can play. And they just didn't.
No, but you're not. You're stuck in 1990s basketball. We're in 2026 NIL, where everybody is out for their own. Nobody plays as a team. It's all I want mine. I want mine. I want mine.
It's
and
true.
So there's nothing there.
I have a son who plays college basketball, so I know this very well.
And I think that's probably why you're in denial. And I think that you look at, okay, Indiana winning the national championship in football. What the heck came out of nowhere? But that guy, what's his name?
Yes, that guy.
The coach.
Signetti.
He cracked the code of how to get those boys. None of them were 5-star recruits.
No, they just worked hard.
So they were just excited to play. And he figured out how to get them to play as a team. And I just think that that's where we are.
Can
in
you
life.
imagine if
What?
they were to do that because, well, it just depends. You wonder if you could crack the code and do that in basketball because schools are recruiting from other schools now, and it's really hard to get looked at as a high school athlete unless you're unbelievable. So that's a whole thing.
Well,
and
also in
of itself.
football, you can't go to the league until you're a junior, where college is one and done.
Yep.
So it's a lot different with that.
But it has increased selfishness.
Yeah.
And that's the part where you already have a selfish population to some degree. Now you're jockeying not just for position, but how much money you're going to get. And how much money you get often reflects how long you're also going to play per game.
Mm.
So it's a whole thing. But yeah, you're right. It's
War Eagle anyway.
NIL. Yeah, War Eagle anyway.
What happened to, but we're a basketball school. We're an everything school.
Hey, y'all got equestrian? What's it? Equestrian?
Yeah, and
Equestrian.
Our gymnasts are really good.
Yeah. That's good. All right.
Okay.
JP,
That's all I got.
Well,
what you got?
Abs, you go.
No, you need to go because I'm deciding between two stories.
Okay. Well, mine isn't a very cheery story.
Oh, that's great.
JP.
Sorry, but It is a trending story. A Smoothie King in Michigan denied service to a customer for wearing a Trump hoodie.
Wait, really?
Yes. So Smoothie King is now facing mass calls to fire the entire crew at its Ann Arbor, Michigan location after they refused service to 2 customers simply for being Trump supporters.
Mm-mm.
That's where we are in the world.
Can you believe that this is still happening though? Like, this may be naivete, but I felt like we were kind of past that point. You know, like 2016, like the peak of Trump, a lot of that was happening. But I don't know. I feel like we're at the point where he's serving his second term as president. This year will be 11 years of Trump. And we're still at the point where people are being denied service at restaurants because they're simply wearing Trump things. I mean, I understand like if you go out in certain places and wear Trump Make America Great Again hats or something, you're gonna get looks. Like I'm not naive to that you're not gonna probably get looks or maybe get something said to you. That's one thing. But being denied service, like I am shocked that we're still at that point with Trump in particular. I feel like guys, it's been 11 years. Like I had the feeling, even though they hate him, they're kind of used to the fact that there are people who like him. Mm-hmm. So you can whatever, but you still have to serve these people. Like he's literally the sitting president of the United States, but we're still denying service to people for simply wearing Trump hoodies. It baffles me. And these people should be, I don't know they should all be fired, obviously, but there needs to be a higher punishment for, they borderline broke the law.
Yeah, they did.
Do y'all wear Trump? Like, would y'all wear Trump stuff?
Probably
Run
not.
Around Alabama.
I wouldn't be scared to.
Yeah.
I'm just not. I don't have much Trump merch to begin with. I don't air my political stuff publicly. Some people do. That's fine. I'm just not really that guy. But
yeah, I'd probably think you were a liberal if I saw you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had this discussion. It's true.
Yeah. But it's good.
Yeah, I'm in disguise.
So when you do Man on the Street, it's going to be awesome because they're not going to.
No one's going to know.
Yeah.
Literally.
Really
I do have cowboy boots, but I don't wear them often because they're clunky and loud. I prefer the On Cloud.
And your Crocs.
And my Crocs.
Your pink Crocs.
My pink Crocs.
See,
with gibbets.
That's such a liberal thing.
Dude. Okay. But that, in my opinion, that's a confident in your masculinity if you can wear pink.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's true.
I don't care.
So tomorrow when you do your live from the battlefield, I need you in a pink shirt.
Maybe not that far.
We need to come up with a new name for you.
Oh, what would should we call him?
His stage name. Oh, that's a fun one.
Everybody.
Have we done your stage name?
Oh.
No.
Or your, it's actually your stripper name, but
your stage name.
Your stage name.
What was the?
We don't have an FCC.
We don't.
No. The name of your first pet and the name of the first street you lived on. What is it?
Okay. So
no, don't qualify it. Just what was your first pet's name?
Are we counting fish as pets?
Yes.
Yes.
Bubbles.
I don't even remember. We're counting Tater Tot as my first pet.
Okay.
So Tater
Tot Versailles.
Oh, that's good.
Stage name.
Okay, well, and it's not going to work because if he goes out as TT Versailles, is that Versace? What are you saying there, son?
That's your live from.
This is Tater Tot.
Yeah, it's
your
TT
Tater Tot.
Versailles. No,
straight up.
I think it's good.
No,
it's a take on JP. TT.
No, you're not calling me TT. Okay, I put my foot down. We're not calling me TT.
How about we call you Mr. T?
Oh,
okay, that's fine.
Because he doesn't have hair.
Yeah, he could be Mr. T.
Mr. T, live on the scene.
Yeah.
Coming
no one knows. You're even more.
And I go, sup, fool? That's Mr. T, right?
Yeah, when you're done, after they've given some ridiculous answer, that's what you get to say. Sup, fool?
Sup, fool?
Sup. Okay, done.
What's your name, Abs?
It's Duffy Rycroft.
Duffy Rycroft.
That sounds straight out of a Marvel. You're a Marvel character.
Duffy Rycroft.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Prissy Maloney.
So if you guys ever wonder why we refer to ourselves as Mr. T, Duffy, and Prissy, you've heard it here first. What is your name?
Prissy Maloney.
Yeah. What's y'all's
I mean,
stage name?
it's pretty appropriate.
Your alleged name.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly. So, JP, do you mind if I share my hilarious Nancy Mace story? Because I'm not a fan of Nancy Mace. I'm not. I think when she was at the prayer breakfast talking about being in bed with her fiance at the prayer breakfast 2 years ago, you're like,
Is
Nancy.
that when you wrote her off?
I wrote her off. Well, yes, that was the final.
Yeah, why would you?
Nan.
Man.
You know, and then last week she appeared all like, I'm Nancy Mace, with the glasses and the outfit after they had heard from Hillary Clinton and she'd gotten to a shouting match with her. Okay, this is something I can get behind. All right. I think you guys might like this as well. Basically, the headline is the story. Sometimes it's not, but it is today. On the Gateway Pundit, Representative Nancy Mace says that she's ready to denaturalize and deport Ilhan Omar after burying her in a catfight on X. Nancy says, I'm sure this was a loving question posed with all sorts of humility. What was it like being married to your brother? But they apparently had an epic catfight. Following a heated exchange, Nancy Mace appeared on Newsmax with Ed Henry, where she responded to Ilhan Omar's frustration that the attack occurred during Ramadan. This attack on Iran occurred during Ramadan. Nancy says, I don't give a, am I allowed to say that? Darn.
Oh.
If it's Ramadan. I don't care if Muslims are fasting right now. Nancy Mace said this was the right time with the right intel, the right president to go in there and do this. And so I'm ready to denaturalize her and deport her to Somalia.
Yeah, why did she okay, and let me start with the headline.
Yes.
It says, what was it like being married to your brother? Is she not married to him anymore?
I do not know. I just know at some point she was.
Well,
Maybe our audience will tell us if she's still, I think she's still married to her brother.
yeah,
I don't know.
the word?
Actually.
Well, I mean, what do you mean?
I actually don't know. I think the story is she just did that to become a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if she actually still is married to her brother.
Omar responded to Nancy Mace, sending out her condolences to Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan. So Ilhan responded with, I hope you aren't drunk and took your staff's advice. Please refrain from drinking too much, as you have been warned from your staff, and stay off social media when you are drunk. I pray in his holy month you find peace and respect for yourself.
That's precious.
Okay.
That's kind of a great response.
Probably true.
It is. It is.
I mean, look. Wonder if she hangs out with Lindsey Graham.
They may.
They go drink before the State of the Union.
And that's when Nancy Mace, after that brutal troll by Ilhan, I'm sorry, it is, buried the Somali fraudster, which is also true, and referred to the marriage. So what was it like being married to your brother? I mean, I'm sorry, but this catfight is funny. Also, I am for Ilhan being deported, especially after the last State of the Union and her response. And I know she got up and walked out with, what is it? Jayapal?
Jayapal, yeah.
We got to get out of here, blow this popsicle stand, whatever.
Let's blow this popsicle
Let's
stand.
get out. You know, I mean, you might as well done that on their way out the door. But she is a giant fraud. Perhaps she's married to her brother still. Why is she here?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why she's here.
Well, yeah, I think it deserves at least a formal investigation, because if you became a citizen fraudulently because you were able to claim your brother as a husband, then yeah, I think you need to get out of here.
Screwed up.
That's really weird, isn't it?
It's just, even if you're not Somali, if you marry your brother, you just need to go.
Yeah.
Like what? We're not going anywhere good in society with you here, so let's just be done.
But I mean, on top of the fact that she's simply saying as a representative that she's fighting for the interests of Somalia, like, I'm sorry, that should actually be grounds of your removal right there alone. But
Well, or even when they had enough influence to change the state flag in Minnesota to reflect a more Somalian looking flag.
that's a sign you've been invaded.
You have been invaded.
Flags are symbolic. You have been conquered.
Yeah.
I know we're wrapping up our very first Yellowhammer, the Rightside show, which is crazy. Do we have any texts? And then we have to end the show with Would You Rather, like we always do.
Let's see. We got some. Jeff from Indiana talking about Iran. He said, I'm afraid it's going to take boots on the ground. You crushed the whole regime like we did in Iraq. The reason why we're there now is because her hell-bent on becoming a nuclear nation, and that cannot happen under this regime because unlike sane people, it's a religious thing to them, and they are hell-bent on using them against their enemies. So that's Jeff from Indiana.
It's a good word, Jeff.
Yep. Tomorrow, what do we have?
Well, it's Nacho Average show on Tuesday.
Can you believe? Okay, pause real quick. Can you believe she threw a cockroach in my nachos yesterday?
Allison! Wait. I didn't watch the video. No, JP, we're up here at the studio doing some lighting stuff, and JP is like, hey, Sinclair, can you go sit in your chair? I need to check this light. And I walk over. Well, I look down. Well, it looked like because you were sitting there eating your taco casa. And when I walked over, all I saw was a dark brown spot. And I was like,
he shorted.
JP, what am I going to do with this? And how this is uncomfortable. And then I looked down and he threw a cockroach in the seat. So my natural reaction is to throw it in his nachos. It was a whole thing.
It was.
But you were done with your taco casa.
I actually went home
and threw up.
No, I ate the rest
You
of
had-
it. But we removed the chips where the cockroach touched.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I got the whole cockroach out, and then I was like, it's good. And then I looked down and saw one leg on one of the
That is
like,
so
sorry.
disappointing, especially on Taco Casa nachos.
Sorry. So yes, tomorrow's Nacho Average Tuesday. And so that precedes What the Hell County Wednesday.
It does. And Thinker Thursday.
And Freedom
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
So
basically always opening with catching up, a montage, and then news. And then the second hour, we'll generally always have a fun segment like Hot Flash News on Wednesday. Nacho Average show on Tuesday. We'll have something for you. You just have to tune in to find out what that is.
it's like
You like that?
a box of chocolates.
Probably
Just never
tomorrow.
know.
Last week we did a segment and Allison did a voice, and we decided that tomorrow, I'm declaring it right now, tomorrow is Spill the Tea Tuesday.
Oh gosh, that's pretty good.
And you don't
Allegedly.
allegedly section, but what you don't know is who's going to show up to spill the tea. And the accents that will or will not be involved.
Do you think it'll be Judy?
Or it could be somebody from deep down south. You don't know.
Could
Or
be
Two Buffet.
Meemaw.
It could be
Buffet.
Meemaw. It could be Two Buffet.
Oh,
You
gosh.
Two Buffet,
I
some
think
egg roll.
We're gonna say
We can't do that.
we represent Yellowhammer now. We can't do that.
We love everybody. The reason we love accents is because we love everybody. Or a British person for spot of tea. We could have some actual tea. You don't know. We'll go and practice and be back for Nacho Average Tuesday, but it's where we're going to spill the tea.
Tuesday. Okay, quickly. Do we have time for Would You Wabble?
Would you Webble? Lindsey Graham style?
Would you watta? Okay, we got about 5 minutes here.
5 minutes?
Okay.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Oh.
Yeah, we're stretching this to noon.
Oh.
So, okay,
Huh.
real quick, do we want to do never have I ever or would you rather?
Both.
Okay, let me pull up a couple of good would you rather questions first.
Okay.
Man, for somebody that doesn't like to follow the rules, I was really trying to follow
You
that
did
11:55 rule.
Great.
We talked about this before the
Allison.
show.
No, look, this is a whole new get up. Y'all have to talk to me like I'm 5. I missed it. I missed the cue.
Okay, well, here's a great question for Allison.
Oh,
Would you
Oh,
rather be
dear.
10 minutes late or always 20 minutes early?
This is basically our personalities right here.
I mean, if I'm early, what am I going to do with myself? That's like a lot of time that I could be doing something else. So but late is so disrespectful. I really hate it when I'm late, but I
Yeah.
can't seem to stop it.
Yesterday I saw the most Allison text ever when I pulled into the studio and she said, I might be there shortly.
Yeah.
And then 45 minutes later, she actually got here. But it was I might be there shortly.
Yeah, but it was that should go on our quote board. I might be there.
I'm coming to grips with my natural humanness.
Mhm.
I might be there shortly was the most honest thing I could say in that moment.
That's accurate.
It's okay. We love you for it.
And so I'm going 10 minutes late. Y'all just have to wait for
Y'all
me.
know my answer. I'm not even going to say it.
Yeah, I got to be 20 minutes early.
What are you going to do for 20 minutes though?
Relax, acclimate to the space, get my thoughts together, get ready for whatever is up next. But my grandfather drilled it into us to be early because on time is late.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hate being late. Like
Being late makes my stomach hurt.
it was actually my high school baseball coach where if you weren't at practice 15 minutes early, you had to run poles. You were late.
That's
How
what
do
Chris
y'all-
told me about basketball. Like Coach Rebo told him, you're on time, you're late.
Yeah.
And it's 15 minutes early for everything.
Mhm.
Every time. Yeah. It's funny that's a coach.
Yeah.
It's a coach
Mm.
that told both of y'all that.
Yeah. If you weren't in the locker room 15 minutes before practice, you were late and had to run poles. So
That's not fun.
instilled
I don't
in
even
me.
know
What's
what polls are.
Is that
Pole to
suicides?
pole.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, we called it suicides.
Flagpole to flagpole.
Oh, suicide.
Oh, yeah.
Run the warning track and back.
The warning flag.
The warning twack. Run the warning twack and back. Your weight. Run the warning track and
Yeah.
back.
Gotcha. Well, let me just apologize
Don't apologize.
for the next years that y'all have to deal with.
We are who we are, and that's why we work.
We watch and observe and don't judge.
Okay, let's see. Ooh, would you rather spend a year at war or a year in prison?
Oh, both are terrible.
Do we die at war?
And
You
do I
don't
have
know.
good food in prison?
I don't know. Yeah, prison food. You're not getting served lobster, I don't think.
Oh,
I don't like lobster. I just like some chocolate chip cookies.
uh,
I'm gonna go a year at war.
I'm going same.
Same.
It sounds exciting.
At war with the lads,
Yeah.
with the boys.
I visited a jail once, and that was enough for me. Like I wasn't in jail. I visited the jail. Was not in it. That's
Yeah,
enough.
I think at war, at least, hopefully it's a good cause. I'm just going to say it's for a good cause. What are you laughing at?
Because that's rare.
Oh, Yeah. Hopefully it's
A
a
just-
just cause.
There you go.
It's a just war. And you get to be with all your buddies. And if you go out, at least you were like going out with some,
On your own 2 feet.
yeah. And like it was a noble takeout.
Mm-hmm.
Prison might not be so.
I give that a hard pass.
Y'all, we made it.
We did.
First, it doesn't even feel like that flew by.
That did fly by, which means we had fun.
We hope
and I
you did
hope-
too.
You did too. Tomorrow, we will be back. I'm Allison, Amy Beth, JP, and we hope you too will be back on the right side. See you tomorrow.